Hi everybody, I'm Gwen and welcome to At Home with Gigi. Today we're going to be making a beautiful farmhouse very neutral sign using this pizza pan from the Dollar Tree. I just started by taking my pan outside and I gave it just one coat of this Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte spray paint because I'm going to be using another paint around the edges and all I needed was just one coat. I'm using this beautiful paint that I got from Lowe's. I just got the sample size. It was called Paris Mint, and you can get these little sample sizes in any color for like $3, maybe $4. And I have several different colors that I love to use. I want my paint to have the consistency of chalk paint, so I'm going to mix in about a half a teaspoon of plaster of Paris. And I love using this, but the trick is you just have to keep mixing and mixing until you get it really incorporated and get all the lumps out. And I'm just taking one of these little round sponges from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going around and just pouncing it along the edges of the pizza pan. I'm using the sponge because I didn't want brush strokes from a paintbrush. And I just kept going back and forth over it, and as you can see, sometimes I do use it like a paintbrush going back and forth, but I really liked the coverage that it gave just from pouncing that sponge back and forth. And I'm not going to worry about painting the center of the pizza pan because we're going to be using a placemat to cover all that up. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you so very much for being here today. If you're new and just stopping by, a great big welcome to you. I hope you'll decide to stick around and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and while you're there, smash that like button. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you'll go ahead and hit that like button and leave me a comment while you're at it. It really does help my channel to continue to grow, and it is growing, and I just want to thank you all so very much for all your support. Y'all see all these paints on this table. I think I used all of them but one. And I used them, the ones from Apple Barrel, Golden Sunset, Burnt Umber, Harvest Orange, and of course some white. And then I used some Antique Gold from Folk Art. And y'all, I was like a mad scientist mixing all these paints together. I was trying to come close to the little goldeny brown leaves in my placemat. I didn't get there. This was a fail on getting there with the color, but I had fun. I guess that's the important thing. But after I mixed them all together, I just added the paint into a plastic Ziploc bag, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water in it. My intent was to make it more of a stain than a paint because I wanted my beads to look more stained than painted. Didn't hit the mark on that one either, but you know what? That's all right. Sometimes you just have to roll with it. I just mixed the paint around in the bag a little bit and added some of the beads and smush those all around, and then I'm adding more beads in, and I really should have went ahead and added more water, and I probably would have gotten that stained effect instead of the painted effect, but that's okay. I really did like how it turns out in the end. Now I just poured out my beads onto some paper towels and wiped them off really good before I added them to the skewers to finish drying. Now before I glue my beads in, I'm using beads instead of rope on the inside of my pizza pan. I'm just going to string them on this jute twine. Now, you can do them individually if that's your preference, but I just prefer to do it this way because it's just much easier. And just like that, my placemat is inside the pizza pan, and I just use Mod Podge to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to use hot glue and then just run my beads all the way around. And this is what I'm talking about. It's just so much easier when they're on this string. I've tied them off really tightly on each end. And then I'm just going to work my way all the way around. Now I did go back and add in extra hot glue right here at the top of these beads because I am going to be adding a bow and then some greenery, and I just want to make sure those beads are not going to come loose. I just made a little simple bow with some ribbon that I had left over from last year. And I love this buffalo check ribbon. It's the end of the ribbon. I'm so very sad to see it go. It came from Michael's clearance last year. And I'm just adding in some greenwood. We've all seen this greenwood. It comes from Walmart. And that's it, folks, other than just fluffing up the bow just a bit. I did not add a hanger on the back because I'm going to set this up on an easel in my kitchen. And y'all, I love this. It is just so pretty. It's just really neutral. Goes with any decor. Really, you could use it year round if you wanted to, but especially you could use it all the way through November until you get ready to start decorating for Christmas. And yes, I said Christmas. So in a couple of more weeks, Christmas DIYs start. Yay! I'm so excited for that. But for now, tell me what you think of my beautiful pizza pan sign. For this DIY, we're going to use this cutting board from the Dollar Tree and this leftover piece of scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to add a really generous amount of Mod Podge to the top of my cutting board. And y'all, I had so many problems with this. I could not get it to stay attached around the edges of this cutting board. I don't know what in the world happened. Maybe I needed to sand the cutting board first since it's plastic. I'm just not sure. Help a girl out. Comment down below and tell me what I did wrong. And then I'm just centering up my paper on the top of the cutting board as best I can, just smoothing it out, trying to get all those air bubbles and any excess Mod Podge that might be under there. As you can see, I'm scoring along the sides of the cutting board with my fingernail. And my original thought had been to use my X-Acto knife and go around the inside and just cut off all that excess paper. And as I got to looking at it, I was like, you know, I kind of like that look. I'm just going to leave that there along the side. So here I am going back with more Mod Podge, making sure that I am getting, you know, a good amount of Mod Podge under there, and then just going back with this cling wrap, pressing it down, trying to get a really good seal along these edges. And y'all, it still kept popping up. I don't know what in the world. I have never had problems like this. I went back with my finger sander and I did get off all the, you know, the excess that's really hanging over. And then I went around the edge again and sealed it down with, I thought I was with Mod Podge. But every time I bumped those edges whenever I was doing my project, they would just pop up and I'd go back, add more Mod Podge, and it was just a never-ending story. So help me out. Comment down below if you know what I did wrong. This is one of those pumpkins that come in a packet of 6 or 8. They're like ornaments or something, and I'm giving it a coat of burnt umber from Apple Barrel. You can get that at Walmart. And I've already filled in that little hole at the top with some spackling and sanded that smooth after it dried. I love this color, y'all. It is so very pretty. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love it. After I let it almost dry, I'm going back in with some just white paint from Apple Barrel and then just drawing in some lines, painting in some lines, and just giving it a little bit of definition. I am not a painter, so I can't give you an accurate description of what I'm doing. I'm just painting until I like what I see. Does that make sense? And if you've watched any of my videos lately, you know how much I love to paint a pumpkin. It is just so much fun to me. I just want to say again, thank you so much for being here today. I really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button if you're finding value or just enjoying my video. I truly appreciate it. I will soon be at that 1,000 mark and I'm going to do a big giveaway then. So come on guys, help me to get to that mark. I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and attach the jute twine to the handle of my cutting board. After letting my pumpkin dry completely, I'm just going to use more hot glue and attach it to the front of the cutting board. And the welcome fall sign you see laying there, that was actually left over from another project. I decided not to use it. And I used the color Lagoon from Waverly Chalk Paint, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and I thought it went really well with this brown pumpkin. I just made a little tiny bow out of some more jute string, and I'm going to hot glue that on the stem just to add a little more coverage to that hole that was in the top. And then we're going to add a little sunflower right on top of that. And these little sunflowers you get in those little packs from Dollar Tree. And I wanted a little something else to go with my pumpkin, so these stickers came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm in love with these, y'all. So I decided to go with the leopard print. Y'all know how much I love leopard print. And I just thought it was so cute, and I'm just attaching it with some Mod Podge, and then I'm going to go back over the top of it just to tone down that shininess. Is that a word? Just a little bit. I decided that I wanted to add in a few more sunflowers. Number one, I thought the cutting board needed just a little more color to it. And two, right where I'm putting this one, I needed to camouflage that corner because y'all, it kept popping up, and no matter how much Mod Podge I used, it wouldn't stay down. So I got the bright idea to use hot glue, and Lord, y'all, that turned into a hot mess. And it was so lumpy and bumpy, but anyway, sometimes you gotta roll with it. I also added a kickstand from an old photo frame just to help it to stay standing up. And yes, y'all, I changed out the bow. I just thought this one looked so much better. That turquoisey glittery ribbon that came from Walmart, it just looked so much better and complemented my welcome fall sign. But y'all tell me what you think. Tell me which bow you prefer. I think it turned out super cute and goes so well with my blue pumpkin. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I will see you next time. Bye!